Hey guys, hope everyone had a good weekend. I did some self-reflecting over the weekend. I did a couple things that I told myself I wanted to do in order for me to come out of the weekend to think about, to be able to process and think about the stuff I need to focus on. I realized in like the last week or so, I became distant from the things that I was pursuing, even though I was on track with them beforehand. And seeing kind of like that snowball effect, it's like purge it out of your system so that you can revisit yourself and say, hey, you want more than that, so give yourself more than what you're requesting. This last year, I was listening to an audio, and the audio was talking about choosing to do things and saying yes, or saying you can't, which usually when you say you can't, it's either one of two things. You decide not to, or it's just that's pretty much it. You just decide not to. Um, but if you say you can, it's because you decided to. Now that I have practiced that, and it's something that's very important to me, that this last year I did so many different things that were random that I wanted to start and do, not because I thought it would bring an outcome or because I would get anything from it, but just to try to exercise that decision making that a lot of super successful people have. Is when you're decisive and you make a decision and you go through with it and you make it 100% of what you decided it to be, it's a good feeling, you know? So being able to add those up in a long period of time is really good. Being able to be dedicated to something and then have those things reflect with daily accomplishments or goals is a huge deal, especially when other people can see it, because then they acknowledge it and then they kind of study it as well. But for the things that you do want to do, for the things that you told yourself that you can't do, those things only come to you for you to live through them, right? So one quote that I really like is, you're at the hospital bed, you know, at the end of your life, and everyone standing around you is all the dreams, goals, and happiness, all the stuff that you wanted to accomplish in your life. And they're standing there staring at you, and they say to you, we came to you to live through you, and now we have to die with you. And I think something like that, it really touches, because it's like hard to imagine that the things that come to us is something that's living, which the ancestor to action is thought. So if you think about it, those imaginative thoughts that you have that come to you, that you kind of think about, you're supposed to live through those. You're supposed to have those things because they came to you for a reason, you know? Not everyone has that same reasoning. And I think with that, it's a lot of people have life goals or something that they maybe don't think about. And, you know, then they think about resolutions and they say, oh, they're cliche, or, you know, writing stuff down. Like, it's okay to be outside of what you're supposed to do because you decide to. So, with that, I want to say that for anyone around me, anyone that communicates their goals or like what they want to do in their life with me, I get a huge excitement and enjoy being able to give that person advice to be able to see where they want to go, because then it fuels me even more. Because my purpose, and you should be able to tell people your purpose in one sentence and wholly, and it should be the same thing every time. Because if not, then you're living life without thinking about where you're wanting to go, and you can't really do that and be happy or be organized, you know? So my purpose is to put people on their purpose. My purpose is to show people that, you know, having goals and being dedicated to them is something that we all should shoot for, and that goals are just checkpoints in our purpose, right? I think the purpose that we are born with is something that we are revisited by our whole life. Goals are things that you want to do throughout the time, but your purpose is always there. And I think that everyone is a genius in their own ways. And I think that it ties to their purpose, okay? So my purpose is to put people on their purpose, right? So I would tie that to being a leader, being someone that is going to not just tell people what to do by directing them, but someone that is on the same team and, carrying the weights and doing the job and stuff like that. So there's different purposes. So I think there's about 5 different purposes that people can have. You have the person that loves people and that kind of heals them like a nurse. You have the people that protect the other people by, establishing security and safety. Then you have people that are engineers, the ones that think about how to innovate and make the world a better place. And, they're really smart and they're able to love and serve people in that way. And there's the other one that I already mentioned. And then I can't remember the other one, the last one, but you get the picture. Yeah. So, one thing that I have been telling myself lately that has really been helping me with thinking about like my daily goals and everything like that is telling myself that I am the universe. That's my chicken. I am the universe living in a human body. Um, we're made of atoms that are all over the place in the universe and stardust, right? So we're special. Um, when do we start treating ourselves like we're special? And when do we start to, every animal on the planet strives to be the best that they can, besides humans. We are okay with being mediocre or just living in the bare minimum. And if we start to challenge ourselves and say, hey, how far can we go and how much can we do? Then we'll start to realize that happiness and love and our goals are really not that far away, and that they're easy to accomplish if we spend the time to dedicate everything we're doing towards that stuff. So with that, love you guys. I gotta get my chicken. So have a good week.